Once again, welcome back to D-Bomb's Garage. Today I'm working on what I thought was a 72 Monte Carlo that I bought, titled as 72, but I ran, was decoding the VIN on it, and it is a 70. So I'm gonna have to go down to the B&B and see if I can't get that rectified. According to the decoder, the 6th digit in the VIN on this car would be a 2 if it was a 72. A 6th digit would be a 1 if it was 71. It would be a 0 if it is a 70. And it is a 0. So it is a 70 Monte Carlo. Same thing with my other one. It got the different, got the 8.2 rear end in it, the ladder bars, and the UMI trailing arms. So I have two 1970 Monte Carlos. This one got the rear end that was in the other one. I had nothing fancy in the rear end. It does need some spider gears put back in it. Actually, it probably needs to be completely gone through, but that's neither here nor there. It is a roller. Now I still have to get tie rod ends for it. I think I got some in the other building. I'll have to change them so the wheels will be straight. But today what I'm going to attempt to do is to see if this thing is going to fire up. I already did some pre-work on it. It does have spark. Points were junk. Those I did replace those with another set that I had. The battery had been hooked up. I did make sure that it turned over earlier. I think in the last video that I did, I turned it over by hand. I put a battery in it. It does crank over okay ish. And just a little bit ago, I got done pulling all the fuel lines off the fuel pump. When I first tried it with the starter and it was cranking over, it was pulling, the fuel pump was pulling from the tank. I don't know what it was pulling, but it was pulling something. So with that, my gaskets came in. I'll get a carburetor on it. I'll run the wire or the fuel lines up. I'll probably run a gas can out here. Had to go to town because I could not find some bolts for the carburetor. So I went and picked up some bolts. Already had the nuts for the low side. I did cap off the vacuum back here. The vacuums up front are all capped off. I just want to see if it fires up. I got my gaskets. I got my fuel hose. And if I want to run a tank in the trunk, I've got this fuel line to connect to the line going back to the tank, which I've also disconnected and pulled the nasty brittle hoses off that. So as I said, I've already done some prep work to it. You all seen people put carburetors on and hook them up and whatnot. So I'm just going to kick it over to a time lapse for that. I'll get tripod set up over here. So here we go, we're going to go to time lapse. All right. It is, carburetor is on. I put a Wix, what was that? A Wix see-through filter. It's the 3/8 line 33003 see-through. That way I can see what's going on. Ignition switch is turned on already. Fuel line is hooked up to the fuel pump coming in, and the fuel pump going out to the filter, to the carburetor. So I guess I'll get to see what happens when I crank it over, see if it picks the fuel up, or do I gotta give it a little bit of fuel down the carburetor, and we'll see if it fires up and what transpires. So here goes nothing. Let's put a starter switch out here. Well, let me get something to pour down the carb. Yeah, it's a little bit of a mix there. Oops. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's trying. Hey. Kicked up some nasty fuel. It runs-ish. I can hear an exhaust leak already. Well, carburetor I have no clue about. It sits there and idles. I'm gonna kick that off as a win. Booyah. I'm happy. It runs. Now whether or not it moves, that's a completely different story because of the rear end is basically out of it. Spider gears needs a big cleaning job on it. Put some spider gears back in it, and a shift cable, steering wheel, seat, drive shaft. I need a drive shaft for that one too. I have to check and see what I got, if I have anything that's going to work. I don't know if the smoke is from the two-stroke mix I put in it or not. So I'm going to call this a win on this one for now. It makes me happy. Might have a car I can sell. I don't know. But that's going to be Monte Carlo number 1, and this is going to be Monte Carlo number 2 because they're both 1970s. So whatever I order for 1, I should order for 2. That'll be, whatever I get, I should get 2. 2 of each. Curry, performance, 2 rear ends, 9-inch disc brake, 70 Monte Carlos, QA1 suspension. That would be cool. Hey guys, I'm accepting donations. Need it for 2 cars. Hey, how about year 1 donation of interiors, complete interiors, 2 cars. One I think is black. One Monte Carlo number 2 is black. Monte Carlo number 1 is, it looks like a saddle tan, but I'd prefer just to go to black. Didmar products. Need a bunch of body panels. Taking donations. 1970 Monte Carlos. Need 2 of everything. That's enough of that. So, wishful thinking. So with that, I'm gonna say I'm done for now. It's past lunchtime. So with that, for now, I'm out. Later all, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Give me some love, people here. Give me some love.